In the name of Almighty Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. As Muhammad, peace be upon him, narrated, if anyone travels on a road in search of knowledge, Almighty Allah will cause him to travel one of the roads of paradise. Hello everyone, this is Dr. Tariq Masood. Thank you very much for watching my videos. We are a partner, a family. Please subscribe and share our channel if you haven't done so far. We as a team can work together to convert challenges into opportunities and opportunities into success stories. These success stories can be monetized into value addition in the world by large. Okay, today I'm going to discuss my lecture number 14, Challenge for Organization Model. Uncertain World, Victory, Bureaucracy and Change. Lecture number 14. Okay, before my lecture, I used to read a Quranic verse. Qala Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli Allahumma Rabbi zidni ilma. O my Lord, open my chest and ease my task for me, and loose a knot from my tongue that they may understand my saying. Allahumma Rabbi zidni ilma. O Allah, advance me in my knowledge and true understanding. Thank you very much for your precious time. Okay, Challenge for Organization, Uncertain World, lecture number 14. Let's set the scene. Confidence, Crisis, Middle Age or Mad Max, the American Model, Part 1 and 2, Many Words for a Single Disease, Part 1 and 2, Germany Escaping the Crisis in Different Ways. These are 6 lectures in a different way or different version we have already discussed. Please explore Challenge for Organization playlist and you can find more detail on these lectures. Today we are going to discuss Asia, the frailty of a dragon. Okay, these are my key takeaway points. Lecture number 14, another stage in our discussion. System organized into quartils. Problem of cost is not resolved. What we can draw from the foregoing events or incidents. Okay, now this is my first slide going to discuss Asia, the frailty of the dragons. What it basically demonstrates at another stage in our discussions: opportunities, Maldive recipes, analysis, and understood. Moving now to another stage is our discussions. Let's take a look at some of the Asian countries: Japan, South Korea, China. As demonstrated earlier, the opportunity to present the analysis of the Japanese miracle, highlighting the market more in terms of the systems, its organizations in the sense that the word has been used here, than in terms of the miraculous recipes and other imaginary excavations which Western analysts have tried to import. It's identified based upon the analysis of the white appliances industry, two explanatory facts which still seems today to be rather purely understood. On one hand, the roughly Maldives organizations of the Japanese distribution network, and on the other hand, the poor and remarkable harmony of their system of the productions. Okay, now my next slide we're going to discuss these systems largely organized into quarters. Reality of the dragons. This is my second slide. Systems organized into cartels, foreign products dominated by products and consumer organizations. System largely organized into cartels, closely control the widely dispersed distribution and independent firms. The base levels units very rarely venture to offer foreign products, whatever the legal measures in place or however the authorities might object in a good faith. The way in which the home markets is dominated by product backed up by the financial control of consumer organizations, makes it possible to maintain a nucleus of the loyal workers with guaranteed a lifetime employment. This demonstrates itself made possible to externalize its cost on the part-time employees hired to do their master's bidding. In the end, these are the employees for whom there is a no scared aurora to the miracles. Okay, on my next slide, we are going to discuss problem of cost is not resolved. Okay, Asia, the fertility of the dragons. The problem of the cost is not resolved through pressures and labor force. In this case, the problem of cost is not resolved through new techniques, Rifkin's hypothesis, or through the organization as proposed, as suggested, as discussed earlier. It is resolved through pressure on the labor force. It certainly seems simple, but it is likely that the days are numbered for this competitive advantages. The strike, which occurred at the end of 1996 in South Korea, drew attentions to the social pressure which had been felt there since 1980 and which now seems destined to reduce the advantages which that country once held. The ongoing sluggishness of Japan, of a great concern to Americans, could very well stem from the same source. It could even be suggested that China will follow more or less the very same path a little further down the road. Okay, on my next slide, we are going to discuss so what can we draw from the foregoing projects. Okay, Asia, the fertility of the dragons. What we can draw from the foregoing. First, intermediate success. Second, market advantages. Third, reduced cost of their own labor. What we can draw from the foregoing that in the end, the triumph of Japan and South Korea and perhaps yet two more of China have been or will be only intermediate success. Their market advantage is stemming only from a relatively inexpensive labor force. These who believes in the end of the work might add that it is only a question of time before the same labor force becomes a useless. Perhaps, but at least in an even shorter or terms, the pressure on labor cost will not end well. First, because the developed countries will adopt to either by reducing the cost of their own labor force as they have already done, but more importantly, by seeking their own increase in productivity in other forms of systems. Okay, on my next slide, we will discuss what the productivity in other forms. Okay, is the fertility of dragon, productivity in other form of organization. Asian countries, developed countries, Western countries. Because Asian country will follow the same route as the route upon which the most developed of those countries have already set the footstep. With just a little imagination, Western countries could manage to think the thinkable as suggested in this lecture. And those who have traveled to the east in search of the model might just turn around and head to the other way. Thank you very much for your patience. This was my last slide. On my next slide, I'm going to conclude. Okay. In conclusion, what we discussed, another stage in our discussions, system organized into quartiles, problem of cost is not resolved, what we can draw from the foregoing. Okay, my next topic will be the customer victory. It comprises of the scarce product with scarce customer, hazards of segmentation, how not to listen, the case of British catering company, getting off the beaten track. How human resource management as essential counterweight. Okay, so on my next few references, you may read these references to know more about what we've discussed so far. Okay, so together everyone achieve more. Thank you very much everyone for your precious time to make this channel a grand success. Please send me your feedback and comments t.masood.dr@bath.edu. Please stay at home, stay safe, inspired and blessed. Thank you very much for your precious time.